Artistic Gamer 7, and welcome back to some more Create Sim here on the channel. This is obviously a part of the Among Us Create Sim, and today we are creating the color white. We are turning white into a lovely sim and tossing them into the world of Sim Among Us. Anyway, of course the train comes right when I start a voiceover. We're just gonna ignore that train. It's just gonna do its thing, but we're gonna ignore it. Anyway, if you haven't seen this series before, basically I am taking the colors of Among Us, like the little characters, the little cute adorable murderous beans, and turning them into potentially what they would look like as Sims underneath the suit. And I'm also actually making sort of a little game sort of thing along with it that you can play along. Basically, I did a little random will decide, and it chose which ones were going to be imposters and which ones were going to be crewmates. Now, the imposters, there are little hints and clues here and there that actually can give them away. But you can play along and try to actually look for those hints and clues, try to figure things out, connect the dots in here and there, and figure out who you potentially think are the imposters. I did do the all 12 colors of the Among Us little characters, plus 6 colors that were like some of the first colors that I seen that were suggested colors. Now, I'm not sure if any of those colors were ever colors that the devs had suggested and someone made it look like, or like there was photos of what they potentially would have looked like or whatever, or if this or just some of the more requested colors. But that ended up making a total of 18 characters. So, sort of trying to figure it out, I just decided to go with 4 imposters and the rest are crewmate. There's also a little 20-second to 30-second video at the, like, little tidbit at the end of this Create Sim here. Words. And it actually shows little tidbits of a big overall video that we'll be showing after the final video for this series that will actually reveal the imposters. But it's sort of a little thing with the crewmates and things like that walking around the place. You'll see some of them get knocked out. Maybe you can use that to deduce who was in that room last, who was seen with them last. Am I trying to play with tricks with the eyes, though, and try to make you think someone else was with someone last or not? That's for you to try to decide and look at these little tidbits of information throughout this whole entire video, and all the other ones, to figure out. Now, if you've gotten this far and you haven't went to go look at the other ones, or you decided to keep watching this one before watching the other ones, there's a link down in the description as well at the end of the video that you can click on to go watch the other ones if you have not seen them, or if there's a color that you potentially think that you have missed. This is the 13th video in this series, so if you haven't seen all 13, then you could go to that playlist and figure out who you have missed. Now, like I mentioned, this is white that we are creating today. Now, I will say, if you're trying to really pay attention to the last 20 to 30-second videos, you may have noticed that white is not there. That was my mistake. So I'm not saying that he is or isn't crewmate, but don't let the fact that he hasn't been in like the first like so many 20 to 30 second little videos at the end of the Create a Sim video. That is my fault. For some reason, when I was bringing them all in to where I was recording that little scene where I was getting all the tidbits, the record and stuff like that, I forgot to bring him to the lot for some reason for the majority of it, and I don't know how. It wasn't until after like a certain point I was like, wait, someone's missing. And I felt bad, but I did forget him. So I think he's already started appearing in the ending tidbits of videos. I forget which one exactly he was that he popped up on. I may have mentioned it actually in that video. I forget things really easy, so if I did mention it, I've done forgot that I did mention the fact that he was gone. But I feel like I may have. I know I meant to. But anyway, so yeah, that is why he wasn't in like so many of the like little 20 to 30 second videos at the end. I forgot. And I added him later, so don't hold that part against him. After he shows up, you can hold anything that happens to him after that against him. But yeah, so this is white, which I have mentioned with silver, which literally was right before this one. That was another thing. Like, I really needed to make sure silver and white stood apart from each other enough, because they literally were right back to back. I did the random will decide to decide the order as well, so the will decided that those two were going to be close together, but silver it's obviously not a color in the game, but it is one of the 6 that I chose to add to it, and they can look very close to each other the way that the little Among Us character was drawn. I was trying to make sure, like, I definitely didn't want any white that didn't have a whole, like, wasn't getting a little bit on the gray side. I didn't want any whites that had a lot of gray. I will say that, like, the jacket and stuff I closed because of the shading and stuff like that. It does have some silvers and grays on it and things like that. But I wanted the white to stand out a little bit more, so when they're standing next to each other, you can see the difference in between silver and white. Yeah, they do have, like, slightly similar haircuts, but I think once they're beside each other, you'll know, if I tell you one is white and one is silver, you'll know which one is which. So, yeah. But I definitely think, like, he's got, like, a casual wear, but it's like, I have really bad problem with trying to think of, like, adjective words, or, like, ways to explain what's going on in my head. There's, like, things going on in my head, and I'm thinking this and that, but for some reason it can't translate out of my head and down into my mouth and then out. But yeah, I think he looks pretty casual, pretty relaxed, but at the same time, there's something about him that makes me, like, when I made him, it's like, he has it together. Like, he's not necessarily, like, he seems chill and relaxed, but he's also got sort of a more serious side to him as well. Like, he does try to make sure things are done a certain way and get done, but that's just sort of that vibe that I sort of get from him. But at the same time, I think I mainly went more of, like, he's, like, more active and more, like, potentially going to be someone who's a partier and stuff like that. But at the same time, not. Anyway, I hope you like how white has turned out. If so, please hit that lovely like button and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the future Among Us creations, the remaining ones, as well as other videos here on the channel. Feel free to talk down in the comments below with each other, deduce little hints here and there, maybe try to figure out who you all are thinking are potentially the imposters, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye!